I took two pictures of myself. Okay, welcome to yoga, everyone. Welcome. This is gentle yoga, so you're going to need, it's all in the chairs. So you need your sturdy chair if you're at home. We have our sturdy chairs here, our nice, comfy, sturdy, easy to move chairs. We love these chairs. So we're going to start out just by letting your chair take your weight. Right now, we're not trying to change anything. We're just coming into this place together, focusing and observing. You can close your eyes if you feel comfortable with that. If not, maybe just look toward the floor and let your eyelids be soft. Let your hands relax in your lap. And now I want you to just scan your body, head to toe, noticing if you have any places where you're holding stress or tension today. If you have any places where you have pain. And then notice your breath. Does it feel smooth or forced, relaxed, or stressful? And then just take a moment to pay attention to anything you might have on your mind. And then you can decide if it's something you need to set aside for a while, take a little break from it. And you can always focus in on your breath, focus in on the movements that we'll be making to kind of draw your attention away from worries. And now we're going to change the breath. So you may need to sit up just a little bit straighter. We're going to be sure that we're breathing all the way down into the belly, getting good deep breaths. So kind of, maybe squint your shoulders up and let them relax. So that you can really get breath into your bodies. But we're going to try to breathe in through the nose. I know it's allergy season, so you can breathe in through your mouth if you need to. So we'll inhale, feel the belly expand with the breath, and then slowly exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe you'll be able to work up to about 5 counts on that exhale. So now just repeat that at your own pace, inhaling, expanding the belly, and then slowly exhaling as the belly contracts. And while you're doing this, just kind of checking in with your face. Is your jaw relaxed? Maybe you need to take the tongue off the roof of your mouth and let that happen. Relax the place between your eyebrows. Continue to take those deep breaths until we're ready to stretch. All right, now we're going to get ready to move into our stretching and strengthening. So remember this breath If we make any kind of movement that hurts for you, you can always come back to the breath or make any kind of movement that feels okay to you. Let's start out today. Let's warm up the side body first. We'll just extend the arms about shoulder height. Then we're just going to keep the sits bones on your chair and just airplane, just leaning from side to side. And then we'll stop with one arm up, the other arm down, and really stretching as tall as you can stretch. Then we're going to lean toward that lower arm. Again, keeping your sits bones in your chair. Here you can look at me, you can look at the ground, look up under your elbow, whatever feels okay to your neck. Take a good deep breath and get that side stretch. Then we'll inhale the lower arm up. Exhale the other arm down. Again, stretch as tall as you can stretch. Lean toward the lower arm. Inhale that arm up. Let's turn the palms away from each other. So backs of the hands together. Then we'll slowly exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now let's bring the arms up about shoulder height, and we're going to make some small circles. Billy, hello, come in, come in. And now we'll flip the palms over and circle in the opposite direction. And now bring your fingertips to your shoulders and we'll do some big circles. And reverse. Good. Now let's just release the arms down. We're going to kind of press the elbows against the body so you can kind of feel some stretching here in the upper arms. And then we'll go into mountain pose. We're going to engage all the muscles beginning at the feet. So kind of squeeze your toes and then start to squeeze up your legs, engaging then your glutes, all the pelvic girdle muscles, your abs, your chest, and your arms. So we're going to inhale, squeeze everything, even making a fist like you're lifting off your chair. And then exhale to release. And then we'll do that again. Inhale, squeeze everything. And then exhale to release. One more time. Good, very nice. Let's circle our shoulders. And then reverse. Good. Now I think we're ready to work on our necks a little bit. So we've kind of got a good loosening in the upper body. Let's start with just nodding. Yes. Remember to keep breathing. And then we'll say no, just looking from side to side. That can be as small or as large a movement as feels comfortable to you. It's going to depend on how much you've been moving your head around already today. Good. And then come to face me again. Let's bring the chin to the chest. And we're going to hold here. Take a big inhale and a slow exhale. Stretch the back of the neck. Now on your next inhale or exhale, let your chin follow your collarbone on one side and look over your shoulder. And then move with your breath to bring the chin back to the chest, and then we'll repeat that on the other side. Moving and looking over the shoulder. Open your eyes when you look over your shoulder. And chin back to chest. Then you can come to face me. We're going to let the ear come toward the shoulder on the same side. So getting a good long stretch here that you're leaning away from. You might extend your arm that you're leaning away from to extend that line. You might massage those tight muscles there, or even just lay your arm across your head to intensify that stretch. And to be sure to breathe no matter which form you take. And then we'll release, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Good. And release. Now let's come back up here. We're going to inhale, open up, exhale like you're hugging a beach ball. And then repeat that. Inhale, exhale, hug your beach ball. Inhale. This time we're going to hug. Give yourself a big hug. And then we'll inhale. We're going to hug with the opposite arm on top this time. And then we'll open back up. Inhale. This time we're going to close, hugging the knees. Really release all the air. You can breathe here. When you're ready, you can reach towards your ankles. And we're going to inhale up. Just bringing the arms straight in front of you. And then we'll turn the palms toward the back of the room and slowly exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do kind of that same move. We're just going to scoop up. Inhale up. Palms to the back of the room. And then slowly exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Let's come back up here. And we'll do weight machine. We're going to inhale and then squeeze in front on the exhale. We'll just repeat that several times. And then we will do conductor. And then windshield wiper. And then we'll take a little breather while we rest our elbows, our upper arms against our bodies. We're going to work on the hands. And the first thing we'll do is claw. You can do this one with your feet too. We're going to just inhale and squeeze the muscles of the hand. Exhale to release. And again, inhale, squeeze. Exhale, release. Then we'll touch the thumb to every finger. Working on those fine motor skills. Keeping everything limber. Now we'll circle the wrists. And reverse. Now let one palm face me and take your other hand and pull the fingertips back to stretch the forearm. Remember to keep your shoulders away from your ears here. And then we'll flip over and then kind of tug down on the fingertips or press on the top of the hand. And then you can shake that one out. And we'll do the same thing on the other side, just pulling the fingertips back. And then flipping over and kind of tugging down or pressing. And then release and shake that one out. Very nice. Let's do one more thing for the upper body before we move. We're going to stretch the shoulder. You can do this with a straight arm or a bent arm. So you're going to be pressing in on the forearm or just above the elbow if you're bent. And you're going to look over that shoulder that you're stretching. Now, if this bothers your shoulder in any way, you can go back to your breath. And we'll release and do the same thing on the other side. And release. All right, let's go ahead and scoot out in our chairs a little bit so we can move our legs. We'll start by jogging. Good. Now let's do some leg lifts. You can straighten your leg for this or you can keep it bent. But you do want to keep your knees soft regardless. So we're just lifting lower several times. It doesn't matter how high you lift. You're still activating quadriceps and your hamstrings, even if you only lift a little ways. And let's switch legs. Good. Now we'll go into our sit-ups, and where you have a choice, you can just do a straight sit-up like this with the hands gently back here, no tugging of the head or neck, or you can twist. If you want to twist, you can follow me. I'm bringing the elbow toward the knee and maybe lifting the leg. That's optional. And then we'll switch sides if you're following me. Good. And then if you are twisting and feel like you need to loosen your sides up, feel free. Good. Now we'll go right into a jumping jack. So you can do the full-on jumping jack, or maybe you'll do one side at a time, or just the lower body, just the upper body. That's up to you. Here we go. Good. And then we'll go back for another round of those leg lifts. Again, you can have your legs straight or bent. Switch sides. Good. Now let's scoot back into our chairs for a moment. And first, we're going to bring the legs up in staff pose, and the feet are flexed. And we will circle the ankles. And reverse. And you can bend your knees at any point and rest if you need to. Now we're going to point and flex. Okay, now we'll just bend the knees and take just a second of rest. And then we'll come back up, point the toes and do some scissors. Now we'll release. Now we're going to turn and start into our warriors. So just look over the side of your chair. Now you're going to extend the leg that's closer to me behind you. So make it kind of a 90-degree angle with that leg. Toes are down, heel is up. Your tailbone is pointing toward the floor so that you're not overextended in this way. You're kind of neutralized. Then we'll inhale up into our warrior one. And on your next exhale, you can go down to a triceps dip. And then we're going to repeat that several times, the triceps dip. And now that the arms are overhead again, in your warrior one, we're going to windmill down, warrior two. So now arms are about shoulder height, stretching, fingertips stretching wall to wall. You might straighten the leg that's close to me, but you can keep it bent if that's more comfortable. Now our ribs are stacked over our hips. So again, we're not leaning forward, we're upright. We're looking out over that fingertip. Breathing. Now we'll flip the front palm so it's facing up. And then we're going to lean back, looking up. This is peaceful warrior. Remember to keep breathing. And then move with your inhale or exhale back down to your warrior two. Now we're going to transition to our side angle stretch. So that front arm, you're going to bring it just above your knee with the palm facing upward. Now look behind you at your fingertips. And you're going to watch those trace an imaginary line down the wall, across the floor, up the other wall, into that corner near the ceiling, nice and long. And then we'll move with the breath to come out of that the same way that we came into it, back to our strong warrior two. Now face me for a horse pose. Fingertips are pointing down on your inner thighs. We're going to bring one shoulder into the space and look over the other shoulder and then repeat to the other direction. And you're going to do this for a bit. You can hold and move very slowly. Here, you're getting lots of things in one. Some inner thigh stretching, some shoulder stretching. You're getting twisting, which helps your digestion. Low back is doing and getting nice and limber. And when you're ready, you can meet me on the other side of your chair. And we're going to repeat those warriors. So first, the leg that's closest to me is going to extend back the bent knee, tailbone pointing toward the floor to neutralize the back. Inhale up, exhale down into your triceps. Now, arms are up again. Warrior one. We're going to windmill down. Warrior two. Maybe extend your leg. Looking out over your fingertips here. Ribs stacked over hips. Then we'll flip the front palm to face the ceiling and tip back to our peaceful warrior. Move back down, warrior two. And then prepare for your side angle stretch. Forearm above the knee, palm facing up. Look behind you. Draw your imaginary line. And extend, nice long line, fingertip to foot. Take some good deep breaths. And when you're ready, you can move with your breath to come out of that the same way you came into it, back to your strong warrior two. Very nice. Now face me again. We're going to go into our last round of sit-ups and then leg lifts. So begin here just softly behind your head, or maybe even here if you're tempted to pull on your head or neck. You can go straight forward, or you can twist and or lift the leg. I usually do all my repetitions on one side first, and that way I'm sure I'm keeping good form. It's a little easier to keep a good form rather than switching back and forth other side. Just paying attention to your body. Not straining anything, causing any pain. Good. And then if you need to loosen up, you can do that. Our FedEx guy turns his music up really loud. Oh, hey, he's moving on this time. Okay, yeah. Okay, so now we're going to go back to that last round of leg lifts, but in between and after we'll be doing some extra stretching. And so bent knee or soft knee, just slowly lift and lower. And then we'll let the heel rest. We're going to inhale to sit up nice and straight, and then we'll exhale to slowly hinge out. Feeling some good stretching from the sits bone all the way down the leg into the arch of your foot. And then when you're ready, you want to slowly come back up. Then we're going to hug that knee in. If you're able, hug that in. Feel your quadricep stretching. You might point and flex again or circle. You might kind of rock around in your chair, massage your glute. There's a lot of good things you can do here if you want. And then when you're ready, we're going to cross that leg over the other. You can cross low on the leg at the ankle, or you can cross above the knee if that feels okay to your hip and to your knee. You want to keep this foot flexed, and keep it active to protect your knee. Now, you're going to be feeling a good stretch in the hip of the leg you've got crossed over. If you want to go further, you might hinge forward like we did before. Just be sure to keep breathing. support either in that hip. No gripping anywhere else. And then when you're ready, you just slowly come back up or just relax your foot back down to the floor. And we'll repeat that on the other side. So first, we'll do 10 to 12 leg lifts. And then we'll let the heel rest. Flex foot, soft knee. Inhale, sit up straight. Exhale to hinge out. You can hold your chair here if you need to. Take some good deep breaths. Feel that good stretching down the back of your leg. And then when you're ready, you can slowly sit back up. We're going to hug that knee in. And you can remember some of the things you might do while you're here to kind of take care of your body, whatever it needs. And then the next thing to do will be to cross that leg, low or high. Keep your foot active, flexed. So again, you're feeling that stretch in your hip. This one may feel different to you. You can decide, do you want to hinge out? Are you okay just sitting upright here? Again, if it causes you any pain, you can take it down. Maybe just cross at the ankle. You're going to get a little bit of a stretch there anyway. And whenever you're ready, you can release all of that slowly. And we're going to get ready to go into our big twist and eagle arms. So we kind of already did some warm-up stretching for our shoulders. If the eagle arms is too intense, you can go back to any of those stretches that we've done. So we'll start here. Going to inhale. Exhale to twist. Bring the front palm to the outside of the opposite knee. And open your eyes when you look behind in your twist. Work your eye muscles. And then you can move with your breath to come back around, cross over, cross that back arm over the front. Now we're going to bend the elbows. And here's the eagle arms part. You can do it easily and just touch the backs of your hands together, or you can wind up into the actual eagle arms. Feeling that deep stretch, lots of places, maybe in your triceps, tops of your shoulders, between your shoulder blades. Just breathe nice and deep. And then we're going to inhale and lift up just a little. Then we'll exhale. We're going to curve down into the lap. Release the arms. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, you can inhale up. Turn the palms to the back of the room and slowly exhale. And then we'll repeat that to the other side. So back here again, inhale. Exhale. Front hand, the palm comes to the outside of the opposite knee, looking over the shoulder. With the breath to come back around, cross over, bend those elbows and tap or twist. I was getting twist. I was untwisting instead of twisting. And then we'll inhale to lift up. Exhale. Down into your lap. And when you're ready, you can release and be ready to lift up on your next inhale. Palms to the back of the room. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we just have one more pose before we go into our resting pose. If you want to make any kind of movement, if something is tied back up on you, if you want to repeat something or do something we didn't do, take time to do that. This is your playtime. Get all your wiggles out. And then whenever you're ready, we will gather back together with knees apart, hands cupped in front. We're going to keep the head up, but lean forward. And then inhale to scoop up. You might imagine you're letting cool water flow over your head on the exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very nice. Now you can just scoot back into your chair. Kind of release. Think of how we started the practice with your chair taking your weight. If there's anything that doesn't want to let go, maybe squeeze it tight and then let it go again. I'm just trying to get everything nice and still and soft. Hands can rest in your lap, either with palms facing up or palms facing down, your choice. Soften the place between your eyebrows. Take the tongue off the roof of your mouth and let your jaw relax. Focus on those exhales, letting them become long, slowing the heart rate down. The shoulders feel heavy. Just take another moment here to enjoy this piece, to let your body rest and absorb all the good that you just done. Rest as much as you need. When you're ready, you can begin to reawaken your body. Start small with your fingers and toes, and then move toward the core, moving your arms and legs next, and then just moving around in your chair, however feels good to you. And then the final thing that we'll do together is just reach really tall. We're going to inhale, exhale down into that hug for yourself. While you're here, take time to say something kind that you know you need to hear. And then when you're ready, you can just give yourself a last little squeeze and release. Namaste. Namaste, friends. We'll see you next week. Have a good one.